quiet like wolves. The smell of blood in their nostrils. Waiting. Interminably waiting. And then...
Zombies. Popular culture has always predicted the inevitable zombie apocalypse, the day when the dead will rise from their graves and walk the earth, devouring the brains of the living. You see them in movies, on TV, and yes, even in video games.
As a tribute to The Walking Dead, we're reviewing our favorite zombie-themed video game series, The House of the Dead.
Surprisingly, The House of the Dead started as a PC game released in 1996. A year later, it came out in arcades, and finally, in 1998, it made its way to the Sega Saturn.
Which makes the Saturn version the same age as Rosie.
Also surprisingly, the Saturn version was released in the US first, and in Japan 5 months later, which may explain why the US version pales in comparison.
The control in the Japanese version is much more accurate, and the graphics are marginally better. Plus, the US version is so rare it will cost you upwards of $150 on eBay. So if you want to enter the House of the Dead, we recommend doing it in Japanese with the help of a Game Shark, the game genie of next-gen consoles.
It's the future, December 18th, 1998, and a genetic experiment by a mad scientist, Dr. Kurian, has zombies roaming freely through his giant mansion/laboratory.
You play as agents Rogan and G of the AMS. No, not the American Meteorological Society. Their mission is to kill the zombies and stop Kurian before his rogue experiments destroy the world.
Armed with your bright orange stunners, you shoot pixely reanimated corpses into puddles of green goo, rescuing scientists along the way, and trying to protect a polygon babe named Sophie, who warns you that you must stop Kurian or something terrible is going to happen.
You must stop Kurian, or else something terrible will happen.
I think something terrible has already happened, honey.
Here are the scientists posing for a group photo before the zombies ate all their brains. Did you ever notice how people always take a smiling group photo of themselves before they all get killed?
Here's a tip. If you're working with a group of people in a creepy mansion owned by an unstable scientist, don't take a group photo.
The House of the Dead is a classic rail shooter, which means the game moves you along automatically, as if on rails, and you never have to look around for more zombies to kill.
Which is good, because life is too short to waste it searching for things to kill.
You blast the pixels out of zombies with chainsaws, zombies swinging flails, zombies dressed like 40s detectives, flying dogs, zombie frogs, spiders, three-toed sloths, and these cool-looking worm things from Dreamcatcher.
Occasionally you fight bosses like Man-Bat, a giant spider who lays eggs at you, and whatever this guy's supposed to be. All with the help of your handy-dandy notebook, which contains information about each boss, including their weak points, in case they're not immediately apparent.
Put it in our handy-dandy notebook.
With the primitive pixely polygon 3D graphics and crude light gun technology, the game can be quite difficult, but it is possible to beat it with the help of some complex cheat codes.
To get unlimited lives and ammo, you have to unplug your stunner, plug in a controller, enter a complicated series of button presses, answer 3 riddles, cut the red wire, not the blue wire, carefully replace the artifact with a bag of sand, run through a minefield, put your right foot in, put your right foot out, do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around, and say the alphabet backwards, twice. Then find the flag inside the giant nose filled with green slime to complete the physical challenge.
It's a grueling process, but it's worth it, because it makes the game actually playable and much more fun.
Alright, so when you're at the main options screen, where you can select between Saturn mode and arcade mode, okay, you want to press L, R, L, oh no, wait, L, R, R, L, L, R. L-R-R-L-L-R. And then you should hear a jingle.
I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
What was it? Give it to me again.
L R R L L R L L R R L L R.
You sure you're reading that right?
Yeah, was this
I
the
don't hear
main
any,
option screen?
any jingle. Yeah.
Alright, one more time. L R.
Sure you don't want to do this? Alright, let me see. Alright, so L R R L L R jingle. L R R L L R jingle. What? Ah! I wish this gun was real so I could blow my brains out. Ah!
But play with caution. The screen flickers quickly with each shot you fire, and it's probably seizure-inducing for gamers with epilepsy, especially at the boss battles.
Firing the stunner can also be rough on your hand and wrist, so it's not recommended for people with tendinitis, arthritis, or repetitive stress injuries.
So before you start gunning down the Z words, make sure you're free of epilepsy, photosensitivity, orthopedic conditions, heart conditions, and that you're not pregnant, nursing, or could become pregnant.
Now that we got that disclaimer out of the way, let's start blowing up polygon zombies.
Yeah, this is before circles were invented. You can tell by the hands. They haven't perfected the hands.
Supposedly you really can't tell, except by looking at the hand.
Not be afraid of hurting anything or of hurting yourself.
They haven't perfected the hands yet.
Nothing can go wrong.
And note how the characters' mouths don't move when they talk.
I must compliment you. I didn't think you could make it this far.
Speaking of talking, this game began a long tradition of poorly acted voiceovers, with victims casually saying, "Oh no," or "ow," when they get killed by zombies.
Oh no!
But it's not like the zombies are really eating their brains, or ripping them apart or anything. I mean, look at this guy with the chainsaw. He just lightly taps them with it. It's not even turned on.
It's more like the zombies are just annoying people to death. I guess they don't want to scare their victims too much, because everyone knows fear spoils the meat.
The game has two modes, Arcade and Saturn. The arcade version is a low-grade port of the 1997 arcade game, which has much better graphics.
Reload. Others are still inside. Save them.
Saturn mode is basically the same, except you have the option to play as different characters, including Sophie and a female researcher.
But even when you play as the female characters, they still speak with male voices.
I guess everything's over. I guess so.
The characters all have different strengths and weaknesses. For example, Sophie's gun can fire up to 24 bullets without reloading, but the bullets are really weak, so you're gonna need all 24 of them to kill one zombie.
It doesn't matter when you use the unlimited ammo code, because you never have to reload. This is a big help, because to reload you have to fire off screen. So each time you reload you have to take a few seconds to re-aim, giving the zombies time to bite your face.
Yeah, they bite your face. You can tell because you can see their bloody teeth marks on the screen. Big deal. Edison bites my face every morning and I'm still alive.
What keeps this game from being just another standard arcade rail shooter is the variety of different paths that you can take. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure book. Each time you play, it's different.
You can take elevators up or down, shoot coins or golden frogs, and let civilians die to alter your path.
We actually find it more fun to just let everyone die and see where it leads us. It gives what would be a 30-minute game hours of replay value.
Of course, it can still feel like hours because of the endless loading screens, a common failing in early CD-based games.
But with a shooter like this, it's good to have a little loading time to give your trigger hand a rest.
At the end, you finally meet Curian, the mad doctor behind this experiment gone awry, and his motivation is unclear. He seems to want the zombies to take over the world, as long as they do what he says.
And what happened? Why don't you follow my instructions?
He sends this guy called the Magician after you. There's no information about him in your handy-dandy notebook, so you just have to wing it.
But it's pretty easy to figure out that his weak points are the parts of him that aren't covered by armor. If you hit his armor, the bullets just bounce off.
He takes forever to kill. If you're not using the unlimited lives code, you will lose several of your lives in the process.
You will lose your life.
He throws these yellow stars at you that look like Lucky Charms, and you have to shoot them to protect yourself while firing at him to kill him.
When it's finally over, as you nurse your aching hand, the credits roll through the rooms of the now empty mansion.
Then, to your horror, you suddenly find that your beloved Sophie is now a hideous zombie!
Ah! Sophie, no!
Why?
We have to remove the head or destroy her brain. It's the only way.
The attackers can be stopped by removing the head or destroying the brain. I'll repeat that, by removing the head or destroying the brain.
There's also a good ending where it turns out she's fine and she just says thank you. Lame.
But as the magician says, you haven't seen anything yet. There's much more zombie slaying to come, so stay tuned for House of the Dead 2.